Right.
So our results have been absolutely fantastic. To kind of give you an idea of what those have looked like since implementing this, not only text, but the cleaning up of it, the implementation of it, the training of it, to where people now, we piloted it first, and we piloted it with one of our seasonal suppliers. And the results were absolutely fantastic. We went from people who were on the border of potentially being let go by their supplier team to being top performers, virtually 100% quality, and them saying, oh, I wish I'd had this when I started. I wouldn't have been in this situation. But the things that were neat to me are these 4 points, and I'm going to start clockwise, top left. When Procedureflow is utilized, we experience less than 5% of claims processing errors. To put that in context, you guys, that is a huge, reducing the time or when it's utilized, the ability to shave off a percentage point, partial percentage point of an incorrectly processed claim drives a call to the service center, cuts into profitability. This is huge. This was huge and continues to be huge for us. The ramp to proficiency, reducing the time it takes somebody to get to be an asset versus a liability to the organization, is a huge cost savings, right? So instead of having to hire somebody, more people, because these individuals are only at 50, 60, 70% proficiency, you've shortened that learning curve and allowed them to be an asset a lot sooner. The bottom right, we shifted from, hey, we're going to train you on this knowledge management system, right, and show you how to do this over the next several weeks, to our training on knowledge management Procedureflow is 2, maybe 3 hours. Sometimes it's even quicker, but I'm not going to give Micah more credit than is due, but sometimes even quicker than that with individual tenured staff. Yeah.
Like that intuitivity, obviously, like what do you attribute that most to in terms of like the difference between how you would normally train them on how to access and use the knowledge versus using Procedureflow?
Yeah, so let me give you a little bit of context there. So the training for lasts anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, not including a nesting or academy process that we have in there. So when you look at that and say, okay, 6 weeks in a quote unquote classroom environment, and every day had something in there around how to use the knowledge management tool, that starts adding up to days of training, to all of a sudden being able to say, this is how intuitive it is. We're going to put you into Procedureflow. And it really gives them a hands-on practical application to be able to navigate through that and see, oh, this is how I do this. This is how I'd leave off. This is where I'd go back. And it becomes that much easier. And the feedback was like, wow, this has made knowledge a lot easier. This has made the ability for me to follow a process and get the desired result, which is 100% quality in the shortest amount of time for the member or provider, which has been fantastic, right? So yeah, thanks for highlighting that. And the thing that I'm honestly most proud of, and might not mean a lot to Procedureflow at the time, but to me it's a big deal, which is above all the improvement mentioned, to see an increased employee satisfaction with the tool. We survey our employees every year and say, what is it that we could be doing better? And one of the common themes is keep up with technology. Give us the tools we need to do our job. And we saw a 23-point increase from that, saying this knowledge management tool compared to what we had before you implemented Procedureflow or we implemented Procedureflow, that's a 23-point jump. And anybody knows who has employees, an engaged employee delivers a better experience. They're happy, it's contagious, and it changes the culture. And that's really what one of the things I'm most proud of is from our results, Micah.